today's video, I just wanted to continue upgrading my Lenovo W530, which we have over here. Now, I did get it working, and I had installed Linux Mint on this. So let me just show you what I mean by getting it. I put this in the USB sticks. So what I'm going to do is, I also have a dock station out here. So this is a pretty badass laptop. Let me just insert it in here, and just to get a sense of what's happening, I have not connected this to my live platform, but what we'll do is try to just show that everything works. And I may update this to a Ubuntu machine. I have always used Linux Mint, so let's get the boot system set up. And now it gives me the option to run Ubuntu. Maybe let me try to start Linux Mint, and then when I press enter, it will start Linux Mint. So I do know that now the system is working. What I also done, this has a Windows machine, Windows operating system running on one of the hard drives. So what I've done is bought a new hard drive, and I'm going to use this. So one, I believe it's I don't know, I guess it's 1 GB that I bought. Yeah. So sorry, 1 TB. And I'm going to replace this hard drive, and we're going to convert this into a Ubuntu system. I've got the distro as Linux Mint, but I'm going to convert this into a Ubuntu system. So in the meanwhile, what I'm going to do while this is booting up, I am going to go and download the Get Ubuntu desktop, and I'm going to go to Ubuntu 22, download Ubuntu. So you always want to download an LTS. LTS means long-term support. So I'm going to download this while this is happening. And it's downloading. Perfect. And in the meanwhile, I should have my so let me just go in here and XRay NDR, and this should allow me to wait. I might have it should be on. I should have my desktop. Is this run here? Oh, okay. So my dock is not connected, so I'm not able to use the double screen. I will just connect the dock, and hopefully it works. But actually, before that, I'm going to replace the hard drive. So yeah, there's no point in me doing this. Anyway, everything works. That's the whole idea. And now let me restart the computer, and let's get this working. So I'm just going to do a sudo set shut down now. All right. I'm going to flash this with the Ubuntu system. So it says this, then press enter, and that should be good. In the meanwhile, let me close this off, and let me just open my hard drive while this is continuing to download. This is a pretty big, yeah, this is 4.7 GB. So Linux Mint was significantly smaller, but I think Ubuntu, at least in terms of the capabilities, especially if I'm, making this a host operating system. If it was a VirtualBox, I would use Linux Mint. But since this is a host operating system, I think it's better to go with a safer option, just in case there's more support and more thing with the Ubuntu system. Though Linux Mint is what do you say? Is based on Ubuntu. Okay, I don't want to cut any wires. Let's get this working. Alright, so let's rip this guy apart. Alright, and here we go. This side is something else. Ooh. Let's have a look what we have in here. And this is the hard drive. It's Kingston. It is 1 TB. So let me see if I have my camera on here set up. Alright, yeah, okay. So let me just close this guy up a little bit. And in here, so this is the Kingston hard drive and it's 1 TB. I think we should get this working. Alright, so let's try to rip this guy apart. There's nothing in here. We're going to basically remove this. Get all my screws. Alright, so the way this is set up is that the hard drive is under the keyboard in the W530. Alright, perfect. And here is the hard drive, so let me try to remove this. These are handy, these types of screwdrivers over here. It's a very handy screwdrivers. You can get them from Amazon. They're pretty inexpensive, but they are, super handy. I can share the link of these screwdrivers in the description below. So let's remove this. It's got the Windows operating system, and I have already ported it all into my other system. I am going to put this into this particular adapter so that this could be used some other time. Whoa, these screws are so small. Don't want to. So this is a handy adapter that I had bought, which can put in either the short SSD mSATA, or you can put in the long SSD M.2 SATA connection if you want to, connect them as an external drive. This is great when I was just testing wanting to boot this operating system on the new laptop, so I bought this adapter and it was pretty handy. Now we're going to basically replace this with the 1 TB hard drive, and let's see how this works. So it's kind of like, it's pretty much a new computer, like new operating system, upgrading it to a better, more space. So And because Linux Mint, I believe, is a lot more, what do you say, resource efficient. At least that's my understanding. At least Mint worked well, right? So all right, so now that this is opened, I'm just trying to open this over here. This is well packaged. Boy. Alright, we don't need to go all nuts with this. I'm gonna take this guy and now launch it into the system over here. Perfect. This is a whole shape as far as I'm concerned. Now it's snapped properly. And hopefully this works. All right. And now I am going to make sure that this is connected. This is connected. I will. All right. Before that, actually, I missed something. This is always the tricky part, isn't it? Being a little hasty, not a good thing. I want to cover this with what this was. All right. So now we put in a new fan, we put in a new hard drive, putting in a new operating system. I am so stoked. All right. And let me put some of the tools, since this is getting a little crowded in here. Put some of the tools back. And now in the meanwhile, let's see what's happening with the thing over here. This is, oh, it's still taking, why is it taking so much more time? It says it's going to take 1 day to download this. Okay, I think we have all the patience on the planet to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install Linux Mint, because I will try and see if this works. All right, so what we're going to do is, we tried, not going to waste too much time right now. I am going to plug this in and connect the dock. Now that the dock is connected, I can basically now use this to share my screen, because it should be able to recognize the screen. So let's turn this on, and I've already configured the BIOS to start on Linux Mint 21.2. Let's log in. And yeah, I think I should be able to clean some of the stuff up. So right now it's still booting from the USB drive. Now we want to install this in here. So now it's launching the Linux Mint. Let me see if this layout gives you better. Yeah, it's still launching the Linux Mint system. And I got a list of software that I will now want to install on the system. So it's going to take a little bit of a while, just to show what you can do with a system like this. There's one thing that I may do. I don't know whether I'll have a when, but it's probably like go on Craigslist and like find everyone who's selling the W330 or something equivalent, because this is a badass laptop. Okay, I'm gonna click Linux, install Linux. But since I have, let me see if I can make this into double screen. So this will be awesome. Let me go to NDR. And we have it's saying all of them is connected. Okay, so let me just see why. Let me just check. Okay, it's not connected. All right, so the power supply should now be connected. And if the power supply is connected, let me just see if now. Perfect. So now, there we go. All right, so now I should be able to utilize, and now you can see my screen of what I'm going to install right now. So this is my dual monitor, just to get a sense of, let me see if I can turn my, that's not installing perfectly. Yeah, so I basically have got xrandr. Basically will try to refresh and check for all the screens, and it's working fine, so that's a good thing. I will connect now this wired mouse to the system. So it'll be easy for me to, that's another embedded system that I want to do a video on shortly, maybe sometime in the future. Let's do one thing at a time. Okay, perfect. All right, and now this works. Cool. So what we have over here is called install Linux Mint. Let me click share screen actually. Let me go to display. And yeah, I'm just going to click in. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is going to be my primary desktop. New configuration. So that's what we have over here. And what I'm going to do is click install Linux Mint. Another thing that I may want to do, I don't know if the Elgato stream, what do you call the Elgato cam thing, can, which basically takes your HDMI input and converts into USB, would be something that I would like to connect and put like 6 cameras and make this like the drone itself. There's so many things you can do. It's pretty awesome. All right, so let's go and click continue English. And yeah, this is my thing. I'm just gonna click connect. And what's the password? I'll have to take it from my mobile phone. Oh, where is my phone? I thought I basically had it in here, but clearly not. because my password is I will just go get my password and come. Yep, I don't know, so I do believe I might know the password. Let me try. I don't know if this would work. If it doesn't work, I will try to get it from my Windows machine. Yep, it didn't work. Okay, so let me get this from... I've forgotten my password. You know what, I could also just connect this to the Wi-Fi. Like this. And connect it through the Ethernet. Well, meanwhile... And let's see... Oh! Here's my phone. Blah. Just in front of me. I have also connected to LAN, so that should work. Okay. Let's go here. Alright, perfect. Okay, and now click continue. And we'll see how this works. Alrighty. Sure, I mean... Yeah, let's try to resize this. Okay, The medium is on dev STC. You will not be able to create, delete, or resize partition on this, but you may be able to install existing partition there. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, we're just trying to create a partition. So let's see how this works. So let me go to. All right, let's see what it's doing. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we just installed a 1 TB hard drive, and that should be, let me see if I can. So we have the Windows SDA1, yeah, that's the Windows 10, the 7, and then this is the 838 MB, which is not something we want to use. This is one for some other MB, 302 MB, and here we have this is the 500 GB. Okay, yeah, so we want to use the, yeah, so we want to use the Kingston 1 TB guy. All right, so that's 1 TB, and in here, and this is the SDB, and in SDB we would like to basically create a new partition table. You've set an entire device to partition. If you proceed creating a partition table on this device, then all current partition will be removed. Yeah, we can click continue, and SDB now has some free space, and that's 1 TB. We will partition this to say, I'd rather have it as 500 and 500. So let's put this as 500. 500 MB. This will be 5 GB, 50 GB, 500 GB, I think. All right. I'll just open Firefox. And let's make sure we're not, screwing things up over here. I don't think you need this particular screenshot right now. Yeah. 500 GB in MBs. There we go. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5. And how many do I have over here? 1 2 3 4 5. I think that looks good. And external link system mounting point can be yeah, I don't really think it should matter. Beginning of the space, primary, and then I'll click OK. Perfect. And then that's the SDB. Where is SDB? The SDB. So we have SDB in extension 4. That's 500 MB, and then we'll have another free space of 524209. I am going to basically click here and then click 524210 primary, and then I'll just click OK2. So now we have in SDB, we have basically 1500G, 1500 MB, and that's pretty much it. And now I'm just gonna click on this guy and then click install now. No root file system is defined. Please correct this from the partition menu. Okay, no root file system defined. Mounting point will be here. And I'm just gonna click OK. And now that'll be the root file system. So let's go to SDB. So SDB, that's the main one. You click this, that's the root file system. And then I click install. No EFI system partition system will likely not be able to boot successfully in installation process. Then EFI system partition. EFI. Okay, let's put this as an EFI system partition. And then let's go here. Then click install. Okay. Whoopsie. EFI partition system. And then let me then quick change this to EFI. Yeah, this should work. Why is this not? Click here and it's still not root file system. Please correct this from the menu. Change. Okay, click OK. Okay. SDB 499. New partition table. Just a second. No, let's not do this. Let's go here. Click add. Change this to an EFI system. 500 ME. Beginning of this. Space. Then click OK. No rules, so please correct this from the beginning. Okay, so this is something that I might have to Google. Install Linux root file system. Okay, so they want you to use an make sure that the partition file system you install Ubuntu or backtrack on it is ext4x3 and not okay. That's what we tried, didn't we? So it should be either ext is either ext4, 3 or 2. Okay, that's what we tried. Okay, let's try this again. ext2 file system. Okay, there we go. Mounting point is over here. Click this. SDB. And now click install. No EFI power system partition was found. The system likely not be able to boot successfully. No EFI system partition was formed. Alright, so I'm just gonna put like, okay, I got it. So they want us to put like can just change this to okay, or maybe just okay. Now I know what it means, so I can like let's literally go and yeah. So I would want to put like at least 1 GB, so it'll be $4.99. So let me just put this in here. 500 GB minus 1 GB in MB. There we go. So that's what I'll do here. Control, wait a minute, this copy. 499 and 3 zeros. Okay, 4 3. Okay, and then I'm just gonna click. Let's put this as an ex2 file system. Mounting point will be here, and I'm just gonna click OK. And then we have SDB. We have 100 MB. I am going to take this, and then this will be an EFI system, and then click OK. All right. Take this and then click install now. Alright, so here they want me to create a mounting point. I can put this as, yeah, I'm just gonna, I can like type in like slash user local optional server user temp home. No, put just a slash data. I don't know, maybe. And then click install now. Partition 1, partition 3, partition 2. Maybe like yeah, whatever. Okay, Vancouver, that's where I am, that is correct. Your name, just gonna put this as TSHIV and Shiv. Choose a password. I'm just gonna click continue. And we'll see how long this takes. I'm just gonna put the fan on a little bit. Steamy in here. Alright. In the meanwhile, let me go on to my Windows machine and see, and I'm pretty sure by now, Yep, this ain't working. Okay, and we'll see what's happening in here. Alright, so it's gonna copy files and we'll hopefully it boots properly. Because of the dual boot nature of this, it's probably going to be a does the Elgato system, Elgato Stream Deck, Elgato capture card work on not this one, ELGATO. So I go, yeah. It's interesting to know whether I will be able to use the, what's this guy? Where is my products? Let's go to products in here and try, yeah, to the capture, yeah, Camlink. And up on your PC or Mac. So let me try a Camlink for oh, interesting. So fully. So okay, run the script only. Okay, interesting. So it has a USB device. So this version 5.14. Alright, so and the current cinnamon that I'm using, Linux Mint. Which is, I believe, if I click downloads, cinnamon is based on a Linux kernel 5.15. Okay, greater than 5.14, so this is 5.15. So this may work. Well, we hope so at least. Okay, so this is taking some time. And then from there we'll start to like see if I can make the Windows machine work with get the networks working, install a couple of softwares like Engine INX, which is the servers. We can install PHP, Python, Node, create a simple server, and then start to like program using VS Code and do some embedded work. So this is what this laptop is mostly going to be for, is mostly for me to use this as now my primary source for just programming everything, and my Windows machine mostly for all the CAD based systems that I want to solve, which do not run on Linux, unfortunately. So that would be the long term, hopefully transitioning more into a Linux based system. Now if Elgato Cam can work, then I must try it actually, right? So for Genie Linux, let's try. This is 2020. Works great on Linux, or how? Let's try this guy. Who this guy is? He says I don't know if there's a similar setting on Linux, but I'm going to do a few settings to fix the freezing issue with the camera info. Selective suspend a setting in the power options. Second setting in the device manager. Restart now. Oh yeah, totally. Alright guys, let's see what's gonna happen. It might tell me to remove the please remove. Alright, and I'm gonna press enter. And moment of truth. Moment of truth. Okay, so it's starting the Windows machine from here. So let me just do over here. So this is it's trying to work on the old Windows machine. So this is not gonna work. Yeah, so I am going to basically turn this off. We'll go to the boot menu. Let me see if I can log on to the boot. Press escape, press enter to pause, F1 for BIOS. So let's go to F1 BIOS. Let's enter setup. Okay, so now let's go to the boot. Oh yeah, startup, network boot, boot order lock. Alright, so yeah, so this has got the Windows boot manager. Okay, so this is where we want this. So I want to move this on top, so I am going to just click maybe make this okay. Yeah, so after all the USBs, then I will want the Kingston thing to boot, and then we'll have the alright, so let's click F10 and then click yes. Alright, hopefully it boots from this device. Perfect. Alright, so here we have this and advanced options. So we have SDA1, Linux Mint. That's a dual boot thing, so let's see if this works. Ooh, there we go. Alright, moment of truth. Moment of truth. I'm super stoked. If this works properly, of course. Okay. because look at this. Look at this. Welcome to your new operating system, the welcome guide. Let's go. System snapshot, colors. Yeah, whatever. Firewall, software manager. Yeah, we could get the software manager and see. So there's few things that I would do. First and foremost, I'm gonna make this my. Okay, just go over here, click display settings. I'm gonna make this my set as primary, click apply. There we go, just for now. This is looking cool. Alright, so one thing that I want to start. Yeah, I can already see it like. Let me just go to sudo apt install. Come on. Oh, I forgot to. This thing. Okay. Display settings, set as primary, apply. Alright. And close this. So it's got VirtualBox, fire. Yeah, Terminator is pretty awesome. I love Terminator. What the heck? Display setting. Set as primary, apply. Oh, there we go. Keep change configuration. Alright. Okay. I'm just gonna install Awesome just to. I think the graphics over here is. Because you want to make sure like it's really lightweight. So let me show you what I mean by that. As the genome or GNOME, I'm not too sure what Cinnamon uses. I believe it's GNOME or it's I think KDE. Is very heavy on the system, but at the same time, actually, let me just go over here and just click System, just to show you. So what we have over here, this is what I want to get at. So we have a NVIDIA Quadro K. So we have a graphic processor. We have 1.5 GB of space. We have 15 GB of RAM. It's an Intel Core i7. It's a badass machine, you know. Like, I mean, it's a pretty capable machine, and it's 10 years old, and it's still, you know, like, I mean, Linux is just going to make it even better because it's going to be so much more faster, lighter. It's going to utilize the resources even better. So even though it's an old machine for running like Windows 10 or 11, it's still a badass machine for a Linux system. Like, it's still very powerful. At least that's the way I look at it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out, and I'm going to log in into the so let me go and click here as, no, I don't want to suspend. I want to log out. So let me go over here, log out of the system. Let me click log out, and I want to log in as the what do you say, the awesome Windows Manager. So I will show you what I mean over here. I'm gonna go in here, and then this, you can see there's an awesome Windows Manager. I'm gonna click on this guy, and now I'm gonna log in. And now if I go in, and now let me just put this as X. I could always switch Windows managers, and I believe just go in here and click in. I like it because it's supposed to be lightweight, but it may... I believe it should work for office settings, display. Oh, come on. Settings, display. In here, if I put the X and R, it should work, I believe. Settings, desktop, display. Nope. Display. Yeah, I will try to log in with the... Let me just... Yeah, it's acting a little strange with the... we don't need this. Alright, so a few things that I would do just to... Yeah, I think one of the... I'm gonna do a sudo apt install, say Terminator. Few things that I like to install on my machine. Oh, come on. Is to install Terminator, which is an... If you haven't used Terminator, so for example, if I go in here and then click on there should be a Terminator. Yeah, and this is another shell, and it's just a nice looking shell. That's really it. And what else do we have over here? I wanted to basically what is this guy doing? Yeah, I might have to go over here and then click over here and click AWS MWM multiple monitors. Yeah, you go for set of multiple monitors using no, didn't do it here. Take a look at it. It's supposed to be swarm on the left side. Nothing. Okay. So use the A and R. Okay, so let's do this. I'm not liking the because of the way I'm just so comfortable using what do you say? Awesome. That I hope it works. Let me try what we have here. And we should have. Perfect. There we go. Alright, so if I'm in here, and if I'm in here, so each monitor has this perfect, look at that. And then, so if I go, let me just go over here and show you what I mean by this. So that's why I love Awesome, because it's the best. Anyways. Awesome, WM, multiple monitor. Is there any guide to set up multiple monitors using Awesome? Let's put this on full screen. So this should be in creative file. And then there is another guy who basically says, so I can't figure what's wrong. Nope. Use AR to create a monitor configure, like save it as a script and use awful.spawn to run it on each start of Awesome. Ah, okay. Save it as a script and use it. Awesome configuring path by running. Okay, let's try that. So I can look at this. Love this. Whoops. Alright, so what they're saying is os.getEnv home. Okay. Get.env. Get env home. Syntax error. Okay, what does that mean? No, you. Yeah, I believe this is where you want this file in your file system with the script content. Oh, okay. Create a file called external UR Awesome's folder. So now where is Awesome's folder? And where is Awesome? Can we do a grep on Awesome? There's the Awesome folder. So where is okay, so user share Awesome themes. Okay, so this is gonna be in / user share okay, so here it is. So cd2 / user share alright. And where do we want this? Create a file call in your system, preferably Awesome's folder. Put the script in your RC. Script. Alright, I mean, this is not a deal breaker. I am not gonna waste too much time on this. I got it working, so that's good already. Okay, the next part is I'm just gonna install some other scripts. Just quick cancel on all this. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now let's go to a few things I want to do is click ls. Engineering programs. Okay. And let's download VS Code. So I could literally just go in here and click Firefox. Just click VS Code. I'll put this as Debian Ubuntu. Just click code. Yeah, so basically what we've done is use this computer, this old computer of mine, which is a pretty not bad machine, and I have now configured this to work on this old laptop, but it feels so new because of the fact that, so basically if I look at the system info, this is, I've installed the Linux kernel is 5.15 on an i7, which has 4 cores, and I believe it's got, each core has got 2 threads, so it's got kind of like 8 cores kind of a thing. It's got 15 GB of RAM, it's got 1.5 TB of hard drive, it's got an Intel hard drive, and it has a Quadro K1000M where you can do CUDA programming. So this is, though it's a 10-year-old machine, no one would look at this configuration and say it's 10 years old. So I'm going to use this machine as my, hopefully for a lot more embedded systems and embedded work, because of because it's a very capable machine. And Windows was kind of like running very slow on this configuration because it's such a bloated operating system. I'm already seeing how snappy this operating system like Linux is running on this configuration, so I do believe like I can run a lot more computation on this system. So one of my goals is to connect like a lot of cameras to this and then do a lot of image processing and computer vision, knowing that the operating system is pretty lightweight and it would have the computational resources to actually do a lot of this cool stuff. So that's the idea. So as of now, since I just got this installed, I am downloading all the packages and things that I like or want installed on this machine. And that's going to basically be click install package. So I'm installing VS Code, and then I'll start to install all this, a few web servers and stuff, so that I could I can you know, run basically a web server. Visual Studio's a new thing. Yes, please install package. And in the meanwhile, I could also install all the. So I've installed the awesome WM, which is something that I personally like. Okay, so in here I want to basically install all the build tools. Sudo apt install build tools. I believe that's what it's called. Let's go build essentials, and this will install GCC G++, so I can compile my code in C++, because when you're dealing with Linux, and yes, there's a lot of full stack web development work that you can do, but you're also going to be requiring to do a lot of low level programming, especially when you're going to use, say, computer vision algorithms like OpenCV and stuff. Even Python internally would require these build essentials for it to all run smoothly. So doing that, we just run a simple make program. So what I'll do is go to create a workspace in here, go to workspace, and let's create a directory called hello and write our first program in here. Oh, I want to install the latest version of VI, so I'm going to put install vim. I am using the Mint distro, which is a kind of a derivative of the Ubuntu system. And now that we have vim, I am just going to do something very simple. Let's go to hello. Let's go to VI, call this main.c, and let's create the simplest include std io.h void main. No one writes C nowadays, do they? They're like, what? Who writes C right now? I unfortunately have a very different opinion about that. I believe this is the language everybody should be knowing for various reasons. Yeah, something like this. Wait, what is going on? Okay. And then if I do a GCC on main.c and I output this as a main, this is LO, and if I click main, we see a hello world. So like, okay, it's working, right? So you can make this look somewhat pretty. I need to compile this, and here we go. So yeah, so we're just running the first program on this new Linux machine. Who wouldn't be worth it if you did not? Okay, I believe it's working. So now let me go over here and click code. No, so if I click here, let me just exit this guy. What is happening? Why is this not happening? Okay. Alright, so I can just go to cd/downloads, and then let's go to code. Yeah, run.deb file. Alright, so let's install code, which is the VS Code editor. Right, and now let me try code, and yep, there we go. So Linux works. So this too works. Pretty cool. And yeah, you can go to extensions, click on Vim or whatever be it. Yeah. Okay, and the next thing that we want to do is what else do I want to do? I can basically try to I would like to let me see, what's the time right now? Yeah, I'll have to install certain things from C. Now it's 10:13. Okay, so few things I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna put in I want to install like OpenCV, Nginx, PHP, Python, and all the other cool stuff. NVM is a node version manager. NVM. So I guess I could do a sudo apt install NVM. I don't think you can do this. Yeah, so what I would do is like go in here, let's click install NVM. So if you're using Node for any of your, if you're something like you go here, you click install this guy, and then you run the script /install. Cool. Alright, so now you have NVM, and then from there you can install your node version and stuff like that. I should have NVM. Yeah, okay. Alright, so the few things I'll try to install. I'll install PHP, I'll try to install yeah, so that's another thing. So if I go in here and click install PHP, let's do this. I will go and click on 8.2 and then click upgrade to PHP. People would probably be like, what the f is wrong with this guy? Why would you want to install PHP when no one uses PHP? I don't know. I don't share the same opinions as everybody. I think at this point in time, if you install, anyways, that's, who cares? I don't care what you think. If I want to use a language that I am comfortable with, I will use it. I will do a tar /zxvf on PHP, and here we go. And then I'm just gonna do a .cd to PHP ls. I'm gonna compile everything from source, so it's gonna be like /configure /help, something like that, and it'll tell you all the flags that you might need. Primarily why I use PHP is because I use the PHP. One of my other projects, I use PHP Falcon, which allows you to write pretty good code. Document requirements. So yeah, so now there's V5. Not be available in future versions. Support PHP 7.4 version 5 until September 2023. Falcon V6 and later will support 8 plus. Yeah, there we go. So you could even install this on a Raspberry Pi. Alright, so tomorrow onwards I will try to install all the... Oh well, yeah, I could do this right now, right? Yeah. Raspberry Pi. Yeah. Install this. What else do we have here? Copy. Oh, okay. Debian. All right. We're installing Falcon. Alright, I think that's really it. It's almost 1.5 hours and we got quite a bit of work in, and I'm super excited. Alright, thank you all.